we've ever had, but I really fucking hate how one he is.
Maybe he should do like not weight room because he doesn't need to get like also getting just stronger in general wouldn't really fix that. Maybe they should put him to do like martial arts to become a little bit tougher and not lose explosive. Like Zlatan did a lot of that, right? Kickboxing, that's what Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Have like Pulisic do some martial arts. Yeah.
MMA.
To toughen up a little bit and not lose his explosiveness or any of that. Even probably increase a little bit the athletic ability, if anything.
Yeah. Jiu-jitsu teaches you how to be in control of your mind, right? Because your mind is in control of the entire fearlessness that comes with that, right? I generally agree with you, that's where I'm right. Strasbourg must be a wily fan. Zero hunger. These people are lack of intelligence. Canada's strengths. Shout out to Thank you, Chunky. Canadians acting like they just won the World Cup. Well, that's not surprising. We know that, remember, Canada finished as top of World Cup qualifying and they called themselves the champions of CONCACAF, or kings of CONCACAF. You have to, Canadians are right? So they suffer from a lack of confidence at times. But you know what? Congratulations to Canada. They showed up today. They played well. They outfought us. Absolutely deserve it. They deserve to like in front of us. They really do. Right? They got the result. And they were a lot better. Scally needs a diaper. Scally is a guy higher career. You're expecting, you know, Scally to be a good attacking player. You just never know. Right? That's all he is as a player. He's never going to become that. That's the Scally. And right now, after Nesta, we don't have a better right back option unless we play way under. Right? Or McKinney. Those are some potential options. But let's wait and see what our team does. That's grammar clarifying. Weight room, a euphemism to get tougher. Yeah, no, I agree. Wolf Perez. I will only address this one time. And this is a classic reaction in the moment. And this guy's pretending like we haven't been down this Berhalter's entire first cycle is high effort, high effort play. What happened?
It's the factors.
Last year, okay, that was all high. We just played in the Olympics with a team that was mostly high effort MLS players.
Damn.
At no point have these high effort MLS players ever showed that they can do better. Come on. Like,
why are they always
all of our guys to show effort, whether they're in MLS or not.
That.
But saying the guys in MLS, Leggett, Roldan, Morris, Ferreira, Long, Miles, Yedlin, come on, like, we know they are not it.
What about when we failed to qualify to the World Cup?
Yes, it was all MLS players. All MLS players. And there were leaders on their team.
I agree with the sentiment, the idea that the players need to show some grit, some passion, like they care, like they give a crap, because they haven't really showed that for quite some time. Even in the Copa America,
let me just do something.
And he goes out to a hookah bar.
Stop telling me what to do.
Life, but have some shame after you get the worst loss that you've had in a competitive match since we failed to qualify for the World Cup. Again, like that just kind of allows certain groups to do whatever they wanted. That is Pochettino's biggest challenge. It shows you that if you, like, for example, I'll give you guys an example. Him with a red card against Panama. What did Greg Berhalter do? He let Weah in practice, watch Weah did that? 2 or 3 games suspension, whatever. Weah, go back to Italy. Maybe next camp, maybe not. Get out of here. We're not going to tolerate it.
Hang on to the wine. Then instead of taking about his, how people were saying he was violent. He's playing victim. He's playing victim.
You're going to punch the back. That was like a weak punch that he put out there. I thought he was basically Gandhi with that punch. much. It was very weak.
So Samuel, I'm not sure how I create a divide on the team. Maybe we should ask Polosek how he is responsible for creating a divide on this team.
So we
In February.
we're
It's
I
us.
put my year.
The reason why this team
Put that
lost
on
today
the-
is me and Tack
I can't see that.
created a divide between Brendan Aronson. That's why Aronson missed the
Y'all
peanut.
can't see that.
Throat because we created a divide. That's the
were
big problem.
we the ones also that went to Ernie Stewart to talk about Greg Berhalter kicking his girlfriend and then Gio Reyna being ratted out in a leadership conference?
Yes, we
All of
created
that.
a divide. This
And
was
John
our
Rose,
Jason
and then
Nino.
McKenny partying after the game.
I
That's all.
hold my hand up. I hold my hand up. Pochettino's number one job needs to get rid of me and Tack because we created divide on this team. Okay, that's the big problem right now. TC Heat.
No, it's not.
Imagine Pochettino's first press conference.
Damn.
Like, yeah, we got to get rid of those two
They're back to
YouTube
back.
channels right now. It's really affecting the culture within this
Culture within the team. But we were there all of last cycle, and the culture was supposed to be great. Everyone was telling us how wonderful the culture was.
because we were slowly
This
destroying.
one.
Slowly,
Mm.
slow. It was like a slow grind.
Yeah, it was slow.
Yeah.
It was slow. It was slow.
Yeah, very slow. We apologize, Daniel, because we're trying to be better about unifying. CC Heap says, "Hi guys, Reyna got a broken leg after an aggressive play by Canada in 2023. Then I watched Charlie Davies basically saying it's time to move on from here. Then I watched the US versus Canada. Frustrated fans.
Parallel was
You're
trash.
welcome to do whatever you want. I don't watch or take anything that Charlie Davies says seriously, okay, for lots and lots of reasons. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say. But I understand your problem. Reyna getting, but this injury was not on Canada. He got injured before Canada. So,
Okay, damn.
Reyna getting injured is not really Canada's fault. But I understand what you're saying. You are,
Oh, so that's how you move
you are,
it. Everything's locked. Dang.
frustrated, and I don't blame you. We're all frustrated.
Hey.
It really sucks. It really, really sucks.
And just to add one thing here too,
Damn, I got shit.
these players have shown time in and time out they don't really seem to care about the results of the national team. Like they just move on with their life. They don't seem to give a
Get
crap.
this free.
What makes anyone think they even watch any video very much? They'll see like social media, they don't care to see what people are saying on YouTube.
100K.
Any of these players, dude.
So I constantly down domestic players. Okay, Samuel Cutts, which domestic players would you like to see? I want you to tell me, okay? Since you're speaking in riddles and poor English, tell me which players, which MLS players, domestic players as you call them,
I
should
have
be
for
on this team,
shite.
and which ones you would take out for them, and why, and how exactly that would
We'll
make
look
us
at that
better.
later. You can look at that
Fascinating.
now.
If you're
Look
gonna
at
say
that
things
later.
like this,
Look
you
at that
better
now.
have back up by facts and evidence. So go ahead and do that, Samuel, or forever shut the fuck up. Okay? Thank you.
Damn.
Hey, we need Griffin Dorsey.
Miranda.
See, here we go. Someone with a
Pissed.
plan. I don't
Pissed.
agree with this plan. He doesn't even agree with it. But we put a
27,
name.
damn.
We need Griffin Dorsey.
18,
or
damn.
Sergio Dest, for example.
Can't do shit.
Make an argument. I might disagree with your argument, but if you say we need Griffin
Yeah,
Dorsey
train
instead of Serginho Dest, at least you have a plan, right? Have a plan. Let's see here. I'm not going to stay live for super long because there's not much to talk about this game. Really. Were there any positives from this game? The only one I can think of offhand was that I thought Alec Tillman, while he was on the field, showed some bright sparks. I don't think he was great either, and I thought he showed some moments where you're like, that's the talent. That is the talent that he has, and he can start doing that. Anyone else?
Because our goalkeeper situation is so bad, the fact that Andrew Schultz was able to bounce back, I think he earned another start. Honestly, if it wasn't for Schultz, we would have lost 3-4-0. He made some good saves after the goal he conceded. That goal of was on him. But after that, is there anything to complain about him? Made some good saves with his feet. Not perfect, better than Turner. Better than Turner with his feet. So I guess Schultz is a, I don't want to call it a positive, but I guess it's a positive. Mostly horrendous. Luka Del Torre scored. Outside of that,
What?
Aiden Morris came in.
Yeah.
Next game, Johnny looks better than Musa. But outside of that, pretty
Yeah.
bad from
Only
everyone.
one training droid.
Yeah, nobody
worse than others.
was good, right? Nobody was good today. Schulte had a good performance
I'd say
outside
above
of it.
average. Someone's
Yeah,
above
above
average.
average. So yeah, look, the issues are the issues, but again, I
Already
think
at level
most
6?
of these issues aren't exactly issues of like
I didn't even know that was
change one or two positions here and there. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. I think the problem with the team is a mentality and a culture
getting money
that
everywhere.
runs all the way through
Ooh.
this team. It runs all
Equip.
the way through this team,
Equip.
right? You see it with everybody from the leaders to
Equip.
Adams. Jesse
Abush.
Marsh, people don't like what Jesse Marsh says because he sounds petty or whatever. And Kyle Martin
About
was
everything else.
on the thing about Jesse Marsh. But he was right. He's right. He called out the players for like begging for Greg. Now we run through a wall for Greg. Greg talks about our lives with us. And then they come out and they're like, oh, well, actually, we think it's time for a change. Right? That tells you everything about the mentality of the player.
Wait, you can change?
It's a bitch mentality.
Wait, can I do
Now
this?
he's gonna come out on your guy after he was fired,
Could do
after he
A.
begged you to come back. How about the Jason? I just these players, man. They really do this.
Do I hold it? Yes.
Really have. I mean, since Greg came back,
Yeah, valió.
it's a cultural problem. We always talk about a love and this is what mediocrity does. It is a mentality and a culture.
I don't know if you feel that this team is like out of control. This kind of promotion, there's whether you win or lose. We've said this in the beginning, we'll continue to say this. Pochettino's biggest challenge is not the player selection. The roster kind of picks itself for the most part. The starting 11, most of it also picks itself. It's
Alright, change
how
it.
he's going to change the culture of this team, build an identity, and how fast he can do this. That's it. That is why I'm hopeful that we might see drastic changes early on, because that is something you can change very quickly. Implement the system, all that might take some time, but the change in culture could be as soon as the players step in the first foot, as soon as they step in the first camp, that could change right away. Send a few messages here and there.
What the
Just again,
bro, what the hell?
loss of the friendly game. The result itself.
What? Yo, boy.
Well, it's not there's a possibility of the summer
Yeah, it's
going on. Since we're all bringing back the second time, since the Nations League win, we have
no, we looked like shit before, Pete. We beat like Oman and Uzbekistan,
Wait.
and then we got obliterated by Germany. It was really bad. That's
Okay. Oh, fuck.
that was
I just
before,
now remembered.
before. And then
This shit is. Ay, puta madre.
I mean, that was
I just remembered.
oh,
What the
yeah,
fuck, what the
since
fuck
you mean
audio
since Berhalter
settings?
got back in general. That's
Music.
what
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta take that shit off.
Yeah, we've looked at our peak under Berhalter.
For
We
the
looked
other stuff.
mediocre. That was our peak mediocre.
Cause that shit's claim, bro.
But mostly we
I
look-
swear that shit's claim.
So
Not on
kudos to
Twitch, but on YouTube. Ay, vato.
All right. This guy does not even start for Dallas, and has put in one of the worst performances that the U.S. that a striker in the U.S. has ever put in ever. And we want to try him again.
Pete,
I
think
created a
he's
divide, and
I
I'm
think
down
he's
on
trolling.
domestic players. This guy does
Shit,
not
sorry.
even start
Desculpagem.
for Dallas, but he's gonna say that. All right. Cruz. Who's Cruz?
probably trolling.
I don't think he
Yeah,
is. I
that's
think
good.
he's serious.
He's probably talking about
It
Cruz
is.
Medina. He has to be trolling.
Is that Cruz Medina you're talking about?
Well, he's attacking 10. Cruz Medina's a 10, right? So
5,000.
that's what I'm assuming.
My brother in Christ. Either you are
has
a
to be- he's trolling.
fantastic joker, or you are out of your mind. I'm gonna choose to believe
Come on,
that,
what,
but
3 places,
based on
man.
past comments, sir, I have a feeling that you are not joking.
Train
We'll see.
Skywalker already?
Let's go straight into player ratings because I don't want to keep talking about it. There's nothing more to say right now. We'll do the game on against New Zealand on Sunday, but like,
10K, baby.
until Pochettino comes and smacks these players around a little bit, metaphorically speaking, before anybody gets angry and upset, until he
What the
smacks them
we
around
just
a
get
little bit, this
15?
mentality is not going to change.
Continue.
Watch first
Okay.
camp for like Pochettino smacks player. Literally. First camp.
I mean, if I let's just do players, and we'll start off with a good one.
Train
Schulte.
Anakin.
I'm going to
Got
give
Train
Schulte
Anakin?
6.5 because I do think the goal was partially on him, but he had 4 other good saves. Actually 5, because there was the one that Ream got nutmegged. Did you see that one in the last 10 minutes? Ream got nutmegged and Schulte had 6 saves.
So you're giving him more, right?
I'll give him 7.
Yeah, I'm for Schulte, I'm probably somewhere between 7 or 7.5. The goal, let's just put it into perspective here, the goal. He should have saved it, but it wasn't also like a blatant mistake, right? Like he miskicked the ball and went through his legs. It wasn't a mistake. It was a mistake.
Yeah,
Right.
well, and I'll tell you specifically what he did. He came
Flat
across his goal as the ball was played across his goal. His stance was way too
How
wide.
can rest
He was flat-footed.
I don't know, Chris.
If your stance is wide, you can't
33.
dive, right? You
What you
need to have
talking
your
about?
feet close together to be able to dive. The other thing is, anybody who's played goalkeeper will tell this. Okay, you're always on your toes. You're ready for a dive. You're never flat-footed. He was flat-footed with a wide stance, and the ball was an arm's
makes
length
sense.
away from him, maybe slightly more. He was diving. He was saved. So it's partially on Schulte. He should have done better on that goal.
700, damn.
In every
that's
other
stronger than
aspect, though,
everybody.
he was great. He made some fantastic saves. One-handed, split-second, reaction saves that were
They're
really,
growing
really
up so
good.
fast
Well
at
done.
times.
77. He was
Came out of
probably
it.
the best performer today.
Came out of his line fine. Everything. So I'm gonna give him a 7.5 then for this one. I thought Schulte was probably. I think only him and Tillman are gonna go
Yes.
above a 5, maybe. We'll see. But I'll give him a 7.5.
Yeah. I'm giving Scally a 3. He was really poor. Really, really poor. And especially if you look at a lot of the goals, they came from the left-hand
I
side.
didn't even know you could do that.
Usually he's a good defender, but I felt like many times Scally failed to track that. And that's because
Gattuso.
you're a right back. That's how you let Scally go off around, in and around the box. That's really quiet. And he offered nothing in the attack. 3.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a bit more strict. Like you said, defensively, he wasn't as good as he was supposed to be. This is a game that he should have struggled. Outside of maybe Alfonso Davies, but he offered not just he offered nothing.
I was.
Sure, it's not his only job, but he was the fullbacks were much deeper than during the Berholt era. They were helping on the build out, right? They weren't very high up the field, and he offered nothing there. The ball went up top, final third or out wide in the right flank.
What the hell?
So
Okay,
where does he,
there's
where do his points come from? Where does it come from?
Richards.
Ui.
I'm giving Richards a 4. He wasn't as bad as Green, but I'll give Richards a 3 as well. He was also very slow with tracking players. One of
There was
the,
almost a goal that counted the score because he couldn't track.
because he
Yeah,
couldn't track Kyle Larin.
which is not a fast player, by the way.
No. Richards, I don't care how many jokes he tells in the dressing room, guys.
3.
Plays a lot better for Crystal Palace than he ever does for the U.S.
I'm giving him a 3. Also, even had the bad giveaways. Richards also didn't really try anything on the ball. Didn't try to put a pass.
No, he's very risk averse.
So again, not defending Ream, but I'm on Ream real quick.
What the hell?
It was
Yeah.
a horrible performance.
And I think there's a bigger conversation. Why is Ream still there? What is he still doing? This man's been in decline.
There's nothing.
If you're building for a career, he's going to be terrible. And he's already decided to go play in a retirement. I'm sorry. No. It's time to
That was probably the option. So he's on.
No, it's over. Like, thank you for your service. You were great for a while. There's no point in having you here.
And here's the point we have to make. Even if Tim Ream is like let's say he's slightly better than Trusty right now. Even if he's not, let's just say he is. 2 years from now, Tim Ream will most
Tui.
play and because
Not playing with me,
because
boy.
he's already declined. I'm giving him a 1, probably a bit more. And I guess now we go to
I got news there.
I'll say real quick, if Trusty had come on and put the performance that Ream had just put on, people would say he should never play for the national team again. Truth. Doesn't have it. And this is not new from Ream. He was poor in Copa America, right? This is
Hey.
not like an outlier
I'll take
performance
that.
from Ream. Up until Qatar 2022, after that, he's very much in decline.
Gracious back then.
Lund. I'll go first on Lund. I'm giving him a 3 also. Doesn't happen. I actually thought Lund tried. He's one of those guys that seemed, no, like, he seemed
Good
eager,
body.
right? He was like, oh, I got to put it. If you look about desire, I think you saw that.
No, it's what I was saying. Like, I don't see an improvement from him to like a John Tolkien, which is already to me not good enough for the national. I just so the guy's 22, still in the second division of Italy, staying there. You're 22 and you're good. To a bare minimum, go to like an Eredivisie. Like that's better. Like a bare minimum. It's just not it. Good hustle, good fight, but I'm just gonna give him the same I gave Scott. Ball, and defensively also.
Vamos a sufrir. Okay, do shit.
The first one was a bad giveaway. Outside of that, he had
Show bitches.
got lucky before that. And then after that, he wasn't as bad.
But you don't trust you.
And here's just to add one thing about Johnny, because people love
I
to
just
call me
unlocked Ray.
biased. Johnny. He earned a start and an opportunity with the national team because of how he plays for his club, which rightfully so, it's mostly good. But if he comes to the national team and plays like shit, like it was today, he shouldn't start. Simple as that. I'm not gonna be here defending the guy. Like if he plays like that, simple as that. The whole argument with Johnny is we need to give him a look. He needs to get a fair shot. He got a fair shot today. He got a fair shot, and he didn't play well. Now, even we're gonna talk about this later. I probably think Aiden Morris should probably get a shot over Johnny next game, and Johnny should come off the bench, and if he plays well, he can get another shot later on. But Johnny had an opportunity today, no title at it, and now he didn't again with it.
Yeah.
On the contrary,
You want to go first on Musa?
say like a little bit better than Johnny. So
Bernardo.
whatever he gave Johnny, slightly
Yeah, I didn't
better.
even know
Also
I had
had
those.
bad giveaways, got lucky, got didn't get money, so probably Johnny 1.52. Also, Musa is like a 2 or 2.5.
Okay, then.
What really bothers me about Musa is that he's been with this team for a long time. He has 40 plus caps, and I really haven't seen improvement. You could argue some improvements at Milan for club, but when he plays for the US, it's always the same Musa. It feels like very passive. Like, did you notice Musa in the game at all?
I noticed the bad giveaways.
Yeah, that like at no point does like Musa
What the- I
really
need a
stand out.
80. Damn, I
Sometimes he
need
would
a
try
shit
to
ton.
dribble like into this dead like alley and then give the ball away. And other than that, it just felt like there's this passivity from Musa. That, like, I know you're young, but you've been with this team for a long time. He has almost 40 caps at least.
Let's go.
And I really haven't seen growth.
It's not just the 40 caps. The guy's
was-
played multiple nations.
I
He
want that
played in
Dark
the
Vader.
World Cup. The guy's played for Valencia in La Liga for what, 3 seasons? The second season in Milan. It's like you have
That's what super 40.
I know, some people think he's Ronaldinho, but I just
Oh, no.
really,
Dan.
I haven't
Ronaldinho.
seen any improvement from Musa in 4 years, and that's what's starting to bother me. Matt Doyle said that Musa would be better than Frankie de Jong. Yeah, well, that's Matt Doyle for you.
I would
maybe.
Everybody. Let's see.
It's kind of a howler.
Yeah, I'm just going to give him a 2 as well. I thought he was really poor. Tillman. Now, I'm going to give Tillman a 6. Not because he was incredible, but he showed flashes. In fact, I would say a lot of our good moves. Okay, the Pulisic had started with Tillman, and it was a really nice ball over to Balogun, which he then set up. There was also one where he caught the ball in his own box, dribbled past the man. Do you remember that? Dribbled downfield and then sliced a through ball for Balogun. He showed
put-
moments of good.
He backed the pass to Balogun where Balogun should have scored.
Yeah,
Be honest. That was a very good. Guys, look, Tillman, maybe the biggest problem with Tillman was he didn't get enough touches. Not because of him, just the ball wasn't getting there. I'm actually going to give him a 7. I thought he created it. Like, he was the only player creating. I don't remember seeing him drop the ball at any moment. He was actually controlling, either making a safe pass or actually making something happen. He was our best on-field player, so I'm going to give him a 7.
Yeah, I mean, he was the like him and Schulte were the only encouraging performances, to be honest. Everyone. Brendo, you want to go
Take
first on
that.
Brendo?
I'm going for 2, like similar to like Musa.
Yeah, just ugh.
Runs. He always tries hard. He always does, but 2, that's
So
not enough.
Brendo is the classic case for effort, right? People say effort. He shows effort. I'll give Brendo that. I'll give him a 3 maybe for his effort, but he's completely ineffective. He's completely ineffective no matter how much effort he shows.
Pete, I would argue that people are talking about MLS players putting effort. I doubt any MLS player will put as much effort as Brendan Aronson.
Yeah, he always shows effort. The guy is just completely useless, right? Sorry. At this point, the only reason he's there or should have been there is because Paredes and Weah. Right? If Weah and Paredes are there, you could argue Griffin Yao probably deserves more of a look than Brendan at this point. If you have Haji, Weah, Yao, Paredes, honestly, I would take all 5 of them over
Haji
Aronson.
looked better than this.
Yes, he did.
Damn.
Yes, he did. So it's like,
She's too
Aronson
overpowered.
might not make it to 2026. Who's next? Pulisic. I'm going
Going
first
to
on
the
Pulisic.
sad
1.
ones.
I'm sorry. I hold him to a higher standard than everybody else because he's the face of this team. He's the most experienced player on this team, and he's the best player. So when you put in a performance that was completely inept like that, but also
Those.
lying bitch every time you get knocked off the ball.
What the
I'm
hell?
sorry, you were 1.
Let's
It was
go.
terrible Pulisic.
Ah!
Because he had one cool moment.
Did he? I didn't see it.
Pretty cool. Then he lost the ball.
Oh,
He was terrible today. He was
Also, he
terrible.
should
I'm giving it a 6. It was just terrible. 2, 1, 0.5. It was a horrible performance from Pulisic, and we talked about this. Pulisic is one of those players where it's like
oh,
a 2 or
shoot,
an
I
8.
can activate
Like,
that boy.
That's
Yeah,
how
he does. He
He
never
doesn't
has
have
a
like a
6.
6, where he's like, yeah,
No.
he did okay today.
Kylo Ren.
He made no. It's like complete shit, and then next game he scores a brace. Like, and it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
that's Pulisic.
Win 3
No,
battles.
it's pathetic.
Let's go activate this boy.
Balogun. Balogun's a bit tougher. I think I'm getting him Balogun because
Activaji.
I don't think he was good. But I also think he suffered from lack of service.
I was going to give him 4 also because I
Stop.
thought it was not enough service.
Trash.
touches. But the ball that Tillman gave him with the back heel, a clinical finisher scores that.
Yeah.
That was not a tough finish. The Canadian player was far from him. He was able to get the shot off pretty quickly. And then he just put it very deep to the left foot. So I'm dropping a point. I'm giving Balogun a 3. You have to score that, dude. You're the center forward. You have
go.
those. That's what you were doing. That was a clear chance. You should have scored that. I'm giving him
Do you remember there was though a ball from Taji that put Balogun in behind, and he shot from like a wide angle, and he shot for the. That is how we should be using Balogun, to be honest. Finding him in behind, through balls to Balogun is how we should be using him. Not play, hold up and all that. It just doesn't work with Balogun. It's really not. It's not his game. And, you know, again, that's going to be on Pochettino to figure that out and how to use him best. But I'll give him a 4. Trying to think. De La Torre. I mean, look, De La Torre scored. But other than that, I'm going to give De La Torre a 5. Because he scored. But other than that, he was a 3.
Yeah, he didn't. I mean, he missed preseason, I think, and he hasn't played for Celta. He didn't look sharp.
No.
And he scored a goal, yeah, that Aiden Morris found him, a very easy shot. He was also offside, by the way. I know it wasn't called offside, but he was offside. I guess, like, we can bump him to a 5 because of the goal, and everyone was so mediocre. And I guess, like, Del Torre wasn't horrendous, also. Definitely not horrendous. So, a 5 because of the goal, I guess. They also put originally him as a 10, and then he got moved back, and then Pulisic became the 10. I'll give him a 5 just so I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. Aiden Morris. I'm giving Aiden Morris a 5. Because he got that nice assist on the goal. But other than that, he looked average. Very average. I think 5 is fair. Like, he didn't really...
Was the assist accidental?
Probably.
No.
You know, I'll bump you up for the assist.
Oh yeah,
right?
Cantina
Like,
now.
if you weren't shit, he wasn't shit.
He wasn't bad. He
He
didn't
did his
play-
job.
I said it. I think Aiden Morris has earned the opportunity to possibly start against New Zealand. See how he does there.
Yeah, give him a full game. Let's see how he does. But sure, he's earned starts. Kevin Sargent has probably earned a start, to be honest. I don't know why he didn't get on the field. We'll talk about that. But then the other subs that really matter, I guess, Haji. I'm going to give Haji a 6.
He put Pepe on a 1v1 the goalkeeper. Pepe took a poor touch and followed up with a poor finish.
Yeah.
Haji, I'll probably give him like a 5.5, slightly above average performance in the limited minutes that he had. But yeah, he probably should have started. Haji probably should have started over Brennan.
Pepe, you go first on Pepe.
Let me give him a 3, dude. Didn't offer anything. And then he had a chance to score. He missed it. He hasn't been good for PSG too, guys. When Luke de Jong went down and then Pepe got, what, 70 minutes that game or 60 minutes? I said this before, like, when you watch Pepe and Luke playing the same game, like that one, for example, Luke de Jong is literally better than him in every single attribute possible as a center forward. Everything. No exceptions. So yeah, Pepe a 3. But before Pepe, Cade Cowell was sent in before Pepe.
Yeah, I want to talk about Cade Cowell. I actually think Cade Cowell coming on with the I'll tell you what. Let me hear me out. I hope that people can see after this Cade Cowell performance just how completely useless he is as a soccer player. Like every time he got the ball, he either ran it out or gave it away. True or false?
That's all I remember. Him and his. So I got some of his stats here. 13 minutes, 5 touches, 0 out of 2 accurate crosses. All of them were inaccurate. 2 lost all 2 of his ground duels. Like, it just, everything was a loss. He lost everything.
Oh, we've been saying this for years, since his under 20 days, guys. He did nothing. I think people like Cade Cowell because it's sort of the Breck Shea thing. He looks cool. He looks like he could be an American hero.
He also
he's
scores
big,
bangers sometimes.
He's tall. He scores the same banger off the left. Guys, there is no... Cade Cowell's the same player he's always been. He's not really a national team player. And you can see that. All he did was run down the field and lose the ball. That classic Cade Cowell. People will like it because he runs, right? He runs fast. Oh, look, I'm running. And his hair is blowing in the wind. Oh, he showed great energy. He's not a soccer player, guys. He's not. And by that, I mean, there's nothing technical about him.
Remember, but Breck Shea also had sometimes some very flashy moments. Remember that?
Yeah, of course. But I'm just saying that I think if Cade Cowell looked like Christian Pulisic, I don't think that makes sense.
Yeah, just because he looks cool.
He has aura, right? When he gets on the field, he's got aura, and people like that, and so they want him to be better than he is. And I just don't think he's what anybody thinks.
Yeah, the dude dresses like a cowboy and actually looks cool.
Yeah, if I dress like a cowboy, I get it. You and I can have our own country band. Jeff.
Cade Cowell is the player that has the aura that we would want our best player to have. We would want Pulisic to have the Cade Cowell aura.
Yeah, exactly. He has aura, and I think that's why people overrate his play on the field. But he was terrible today. I'm giving him a 1. Sorry. Jeff Carey says, Tax 7, Pete 8, Jeff 2 because I fell asleep. I'll try harder. Sorry.
Why do I only get a 7? Okay, I'll take it.
I get this free.
Maybe because I look better in cowboy outfits. David Garzon says, I love how they will
I didn't beat her, bro.
You're
just going to give me everything.
Are you talking about us, or are you talking about the media?
Well, I mean, I'm
what does that mean?
complimenting him. I talked about the positives. I still don't think Jesse Marsch is this brilliant coach. I think he was able to actually build an identity with this team, get a style of play, and Canada happens to have the players that suit his playing style.
Oh, no, I didn't do
That's
it. Okay.
what I think he did. And he's a good motivational guy. He's always been a good motivational guy. But, like, not this brilliant coach that you think. Sure, probably maybe a better option than Berhalter. Like, probably would have been a better option than Berhalter, just for the fact that he can motivate the team. But, I mean, the guy literally failed in every tough league he had to. While we have a coach like Pellegrino Materazzo that's been holding his own in the Bundesliga for years.
Pellegrino Materazzo.
Yeah, that's like, where did Jesse Marsch succeed? The Austrian, not even succeed. Austrian league, he did what he was supposed to do. MLS, I guess you can call him successful. And then Canada. That's it.
Yeah.
Failed in the Bundesliga, failed in the Premier League whenever he was actually challenged.
I mean, he has strong points. His man management and his motivation
this
style.
stronger.
He's a very
Nah, he's trying to
inspiring,
get them in.
inspiring guy, and that's why I said
Yeah,
when
I gotta keep
Canada
Ross
hired him,
stronger.
I said it would work because the first year or two with Jesse is honeymoon stuff, right? A lot of it gets covered up by his very inspirational style, right? And he's very good at getting players to believe, and that can paper over a lot of cracks for a while. Even at least, and he rescued them from relegation early on, right? But when he had to actually play a full season, he got found out. So he's a good coach. He's going to do well with Canada up to 2026. I think after that, some cracks might start to show. Julian Devas says, didn't get to watch the game, but just saw the result. Does Pochettino have second thoughts? No, I mean, he's not like that going to be that reactionary, but certainly he's going to have thoughts about what he needs to
change
do.
it to
I think if
once.
you watch this game, he's going to go, what the hell is this? This is not what I want to see. And I hope he does.
I also think that this kind of helps him to an extent.
Oh,
because the lower it is, the
Yeah.
bigger it will be his
You can't
accomplishment.
get much lower than this.
Yeah, exactly. I can't see us getting any worse than this with him. So I would assume we can only go up with him. And if we go up with him, the bare minimum, it'll be an average job. If he does super well, I think it just strengthens him. And I'm pretty sure Pochettino by now, he probably already looked through the Copa America tapes, had his team go through it, and probably already saw a lot of issues. And today, if he was watching, which I'm assuming he was watching, he probably just went through it and just like, it's still the same problems that they'll have to address.
Yeah. Michael Higuain, people are
Ouch.
exaggerating. Team triple shit for 6 years and expect virus to come and change the face of the team. Why do players care? So, Michael, it goes back to where I was saying. When you put on your jersey, and you get to represent your country, you should not need external motivation. Like, why should you care? Because you're representing your country. Because you're wearing the Star of the Because out of 330 million people, a handful of people get this opportunity to represent your country. I'm sorry, if you need a coach who doesn't care, then you're in the wrong business. Go become an accountant. Okay? It's ridiculous. Yes, this culture was definitely but that does not excuse the players for that performance. That performance was completely inept and was completely lacking in any fire at all. I'm sorry, I'm not exaggerating. That's the truth. You disagree? That's fine.
Should have used the other
But
one.
the players need to be held to a lot. This sets up well for Poch being the savior. I still like this because he's a beautiful man.
Ouch.
Yes, we expect that. How will you feel about players that are not there? If you really don't care, you don't care. Right? But you know what? More often than not, and this is autobiography. But when I notice something wrong with a player, I talk to them about it. Say, this is what I see, this is what I need from you. And then I wait for them to change. If there is no change, then there starts to be consequences. And I think that's a good thing. If you go to, let's say, I'm not saying he doesn't care.
That's
Some
cool.
people say he doesn't, but let's say Gio Reyna. You go to Gio Reyna and say, listen, Gio, you are not doing enough work on this side of the ball. Or when I ask you to do this, you're not doing it. If you don't do it, you don't start. That's probably what will happen. And then in the next game, if Gio continues that way, he'll probably bench him. That's really it. You set the expectations and you also set the example as coach. Hold yourself accountable, hold yourself to high standards, and set a baseline for culture. And the baseline for culture is not, oh, I talked to Tyler Adams about his wife, or I took them to Gettysburg and showed them a PowerPoint. The baseline for culture is this is what I expect every single game. You hit this level of intensity and effort and tactical understanding is what I want us to do. And if you don't do it, you don't. But usually what happens is, and most of us follow it. When you set it early on, you set the standard early. And the ones who don't hit it, one of two things happens. They get a consequence and then they change, or they don't care enough and they're out of the That's it really. I don't know what that's what
I mean, that's all you can do, right? He's coming in as a new guy. He needs to give the best players an opportunity. You talked about Gio Reyna, for example, like Weston McKennie too. Bring him in,
Sure.
have a talk with him, like, hey, these are the issues. This is what I want to change, and give all these guys a shot.
Apenas estoy a uno.
That can take some time, and maybe some guys that are very good and very important to the team might be excluded because of these reasons. We'll see. We'll see what he does. I'm gonna I'm gonna fully back Pochettino at least till the summer of 2025. I want to see what changes, what he does until the World Cup 2025. Now, I'm not saying I'm gonna turn on him by then. I'm just saying that by then, I want to believe everything he does is for a reason and that we're going on track. That's what I want to believe. And there has to be a lot of changes. It's not looking good. Like losing the Copa America. We were this close of losing to Jamaica in the semifinals of the Nations League, which would have been embarrassing. The Jamaican B team, we just lost to Canada at home. On Tuesday, we play New Zealand, and we'll see how that one goes. But it's not looking good. It's not playing well. The team doesn't seem fair. I don't want to hear the excuses that we don't have a coach now, because these players should be given it all just because it's the U.S. And then on top of that, they should all assume that Pochettino is watching, which, again, I am certain that he was watching this game, and I am certain that this guy.
So that's it, guys. Gonna end it here. Thanks for watching. Smash the like button before you go. Patreon, were you gonna do 7 things for this?
Yeah, I'll do it. There's a lot of things we learned, yeah.
Great. 7 things. Game breakdown on Patreon tomorrow, guys. Have a great rest of the weekend. Signing off. Sad and disappointed, but there are brighter days ahead. We hope.
Hello and welcome back to the Give and Go. I'm your coach Reynoso. Here's my boy
Soltero. What's up, y'all?
Canada wins on U.S. soil for the first time since 1957 in this first matchup in Kansas City. A 2-1 victory for the Canadians here underneath the Jesse Marsch project that continues its very positive momentum. USA is somewhat in limbo as they await Pochettino's arrival.
Yeah, this is the first game post Berhalter, and my God, bro, it is one to forget. Terrible result here, and the first half specifically, we got completely outplayed. It's almost as if we weren't there. Canada were even just a little bit more aggressive, maybe a little bit more clinical. They could have gotten 2-3 goals on us. Cardoso with a really bad mistake, terrible mistake. Tried to one-touch it, but gave it straight to the Canadian player, and they already had 3 players in advanced positions. They take care of business. Schaffelberg gets on the end of it and puts in a really nice, low and hard finish. Canada go up 1-0, but it just got worse from there. Just the intensity wasn't there for the USA. Our midfield, bro, our midfield could not handle the Canadian press. We really couldn't. Cardoso, Musa, a mixture of Arison and Tillman could not handle the physicality that Canada brought to this match. We could barely hold on to the ball, and the very few times we went forward, we would immediately lose it. Pulisic, Balogun, they tried, but Canada were just so much more ready for this type of test than the USA were, and yeah, we did a little bit better in the second half. You could say Canada maybe let off. It's a friendly at the end of the day, like, and they still ended up winning this game. David gets a goal. USA is bad, but overall, man, this is just a really, really bad performance, and I don't want to get too critical here. I will say this is just not looking good. This is not looking good. I think we're still a little bit traumatized from what happened at the Copa America. The players are just kind of like, all right, we're technically coachless. We don't know what the tactics are going to be if Pochettino comes here as coach, and even if he comes here as coach, because he still has not been officially signed. So there's just, as you said, we're in this weird limbo still, and it's just fully showing up.
No, 100%. I don't know, man. Even though I'm aware that this isn't the best team that the USA could have brought to this match, and the starting lineup, it's still a solid squad, but I'm starting to see like a recurring pattern of these American players when they leave their clubs to enter the international break. Always seems to have some really weird energy levels, bro. All the attraction that we saw just a few months ago came off the heels of players coming back from their club seasons and then arriving on the international stage and then just playing terribly. They played much better in that second half of Brazil. I could see this USA team playing much better in the second window that they have in this international window, but I'm starting to see a reoccurrence here, man, that I think needs to be acknowledged by hopefully Pochettino, which is get these players' energies levels up, bro, because that first half, for as good as Canada did play, and I'm going to talk about them in a second because I thought they did great with tactics and the way that they approached this match, a lot of it really did come down to just energy levels and effort. Canada was just swinging the ball around the Americans' box, and the Americans wouldn't do anything, bro. They wouldn't step to it. They wouldn't challenge the ball, and ultimately, it's why Canada was able to get 2 goals out of this match, because they just have more effort. They just have more desire in this game than the USA, and I think that's a cause for concern, because these players, if they play up to the level that they are capable of, can make this a game, bro.
Yeah, it's giving me Brazil vibes low-key, where, you know, after the really bad World Cup for Brazil, since they couldn't get past Croatia, Brazil have been weird, right? They've had really weird results the last 2 years. And I'd say since that Colombia game, basically, USA's motivation levels have just not been there. They just haven't been there, man. Like, we'll have a couple of spells in each game where we show our class, we show our potential, but that's it. But you gotta make it. And I'm just not seeing it. And I don't know what's gonna happen. It's gotta be on the coach, because I think that's ultimately where Berhalter went wrong. He just couldn't manage this side. But yeah, I mean, all I can hope for is that the players come together under this new coach and just clean slate. Completely forget about the past, what's happened under this weird but somewhat successful tenure of Berhalter. Let's just forget about it. Let's start a new era. The talent is there, right? We know we have some really good players, some really good young players as well. So if we can just put the correct pieces together, obviously we can play really good football. But right now,
I'd like to chalk this up to babysitter Berhalter has left the kids at home. And when the kids were expecting the real father to show up, and said they got stepdad Vargas. Same Vargas. And so they're acting a little weird. Yeah, who's this guy? This isn't what I'm expecting. And so I think this is going to be a really weird matchup. When we talked about when we saw the reaction to the roster, that this is going to be a very weird situation to go into and to take away, because this team won't truly show its real colors until Pochettino is guiding them day in, day out. So we'll just have to wait and see. We're going to chalk it up to just this weird period that they're in. But, bro, if it continues, then this really is a cause for concern in the build to the World Cup.
it just sucks, though, because first off, I do agree. Like, I do chalk this up to being in limbo, but, like, come on, man. Like, Johnny Cardoso, you're playing insane, man. You've been playing in Brazil prior to that. We have a lot of high hopes for you to show up. You get the call-up, you get the start. Show up. It didn't happen, man. Same with Tillman Aronson. I mean, he was trying, but Pulisic was bad today, too. Pulisic was terrible, actually. He could not hold on to the ball. Every time a body got on him, he just lost it. And then he would just try and draw a foul. It never came. I thought the performance from every single player today was bad. Yunus Musa, again, an opportunity for him to command the midfield without McKinney in the lineup, and he just gets completely outran in the first half. So I'm very disappointed with this performance, because sure, maybe we don't know what the tactics are, but just show up physically, show up with your talent, with your technique. You play in Europe, so let me see it. And we didn't see it today, so that's why I'm very disappointed because of that. The talent is too high to play this poor.
100%. Duke Cardoso played in some of the most intimidating atmospheres for Internacional Brazil in the Copa Libertadores, and he's played at the Bernabeu, for Christ's sakes. But Kansas City is where he reaches his ceiling. That's where he gets tested, bro. What the fuck was that performance? And Tim Ream too. I think we're starting to see his age, dude. He got done in a couple times as well. But it also came at the feet of a Canadian team that is on a very good rise right now, that has somehow picked up the pieces that they dropped off a few years ago when they were on another great rise, but then kind of slowed their momentum come World Cup time. In comes Jesse Marsch and has completely revived this team with a semifinal appearance at the Copa America, but now this win to start off the international window. What was your takeaways from this Canadian side, this Canadian team that was out today, which ended up defeating this USA team?
I can't believe that Canada are once again the best team in CONCACAF. I really can't. After the summer they just had, by the way, I think you can safely say they are the most informed team in CONCACAF, and it's not even close in my opinion. They were the best CONCACAF team at the Copa America, I think by a long shot, and with this win today and the performance in general, Canada are back. Like prime Canada. That Canada we saw
that version?
top the table of World Cup qualifying 4 years ago. I think they're completely back. I really do, though. I'm not kidding.
I think it's close. I think I need to see it in a competitive setting against the CONCACAF.
Well, I just think the style's different, though.
Yeah.
Like, the style that was 4 years ago, it was about just sending the wingbacks way up high. You would have an offensive line of 5 players. But what Marcus brings is a little bit more talent. So I don't think it's going to be as dynamic if you will, but I think it's going to be as dominant because we saw how good Canada was against South American opposition at the Copa America. We saw them completely outplay and out-tactic the USA today. I do think it's a different version for sure, but Team Canada is here.
And I think a big reason is because of the rise of two specific players that I think have upgraded the positions of the players that were in there
See you on
before.
the-
The first one is
Peace out,
Bombito.
peace out, peace
who
out,
I'm
peace
going to
out.
go as far